Hello everyone, I have another review. Today's review is on the ESV Preaching Bible and the goatskin black cover from Crossway. I received a review copy of this Bible in exchange for my honest assessment. It comes in this two-part box there. This is the Bible itself. The grain on this is a little rougher than some other ones that I've had from Crossway, which were, I would say, a little smoother, but that's not too big of a deal. You do have the 4 raised hubs along the spine, and there's your spine with the lettering on it. I'll give you a little angle there. You got the gold gild, always a sucker for that. Mention that almost every time. From top down, 2 bookmarks, and you'll notice it's also Smith sewn, so it's definitely put together to last. The Bible itself has a 10-point lexicon type. It does have the goatskin cover that I mentioned and the Smith sewn binding. It does have a lifetime guarantee on it, and that is the outside. Let's go to the inside. First thing you'll notice, it is not in a double column format. It is in a single column paragraph format. What you'll notice then is you'll have, there's, in this case, Nehemiah chapter 8, and there's verse 1 all the way through verse 8, and then the next paragraph. Is that a problem? It could be, especially if you, the reader, believe that this particular thought should continue on. In these paragraph formats, what could potentially happen is the misunderstanding that this is the thought that needs to happen in these verses, and there could be a lot more than that. So I'm cautious when I see a paragraph format like that with these subheadings, because sometimes I feel that a message that starts here can go into here, and continue on, but there may be subpoints in here, and this could distract from the actual overarching message. Maybe, maybe not, but just my own personal thoughts on that. As far as the preaching aspect of it goes, this is where I feel this Bible falls quite short. So short, in fact, that I was rather surprised when I started looking at this. First off, pretend you're preaching from this Bible. And in this case, we're in Nehemiah chapter 8. And you read verses 1 through 5, and then you make a point or an illustration, or you do something to draw your eyes away from the Bible. And then you have to go back and find, let's just say, I don't know, the next verse you want to read from, which would be verse 6. Well, where is it? There it is. Well, that is quite annoying if you're preaching. So if you're reading and you're going, I have to find verse 6 again, you got to scan your eyes. I would have preferred that this preaching Bible have a verse-by-verse format so that you have verse 1, verse 2, 3, etc. this way. That way, as you're reading, if you stop at verse 5 and you know you stopped at verse 5, boom, you can go to verse 6 and you can find it real quick because you'll have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 on the side. There's 6 and you go. In this situation, you have to scan through the text that you've already read to find where you left off. The second thing that I'm really surprised about in this preaching Bible is while the paper is a lot thicker than a lot of Bible paper that's out there, and by that I mean some of the thin lines that you'll get, they have some paper that's quite thin. This still has, you'll probably notice it more here in the Psalms, all of this ghosting. Now you could have done what's known as a line matching, so that this match here on the other side also has a line, so a lot of this is reduced. But I mean, I'm holding this probably a foot away from the Bible, maybe a little more than that. So yeah, somewhere in the neighborhood of about 12 inches, 25 cm. You can see coming through the previous page. Now let's say that you wrote a note in these wide margins. The wide margins are great. I love the fact that they have these wide margins for notes. But let's say that you wrote a note here in Psalm 2, right over here. And you turn this over to go to Psalm 3. Look at that. That's coming through. Now, depending on the type of pen or marking pencil that you use, it might come through and then could distract you from 3 if it's over here. And that's surprising to me. I thought either you use a little bit more of a cream paper so that wouldn't do that, or maybe a little thicker still so the bleeding wouldn't come through. With as much as is available out there, I'm surprised that this still did that. I thought they would do a little better job of eliminating some of that ghosting. So as far as the preaching Bible aspect of it goes, the Bible itself is well designed in terms of the binding, in terms of the layout, as far as it laying flat. The paper's good, all of that. If, however, you are looking for a preaching Bible, a Bible you're going to preach or teach from often, this Bible falls short in my opinion. And the two reasons that I've already mentioned: number one, this paragraph format that happens in some of the passages. I mean, look, there it is. In the Psalms and Proverbs, you have this verse by verse, which is perfect. I mean, I love how that works. All right, I'm going to go back to the Psalms and Proverbs. There it is. This is what I'm talking about by verse by verse. You read Psalm 20, verse 3. Okay, now I'm going to go to verse 4. Boom, there it is. You don't even have to go through the pages. You go over to this paragraph format that you'll have. Oh, my word. Where are we? Where's my verse? It just does not work. And then, again, the ghosting, the coming through on the other side of the other page. For a Bible like that retails for $200, I would have thought they would have put just a touch more into it so that it's a true preacher's Bible that eliminates some of these things that could potentially be a distraction to people. That said, I hope that helps. I'm a little disappointed by this one. And this may work for some, that's fine, but just want to let you guys know that. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a comment below, and I'll have another review for you another time.